Amelia Hawthorne, a woman of wealth and privilege, had always lived her life above others. Her cold demeanor and arrogant attitude were the products of a loveless upbringing, where her wealthy parents were more interested in their fortunes than in their daughter. She believed that money could solve any problem, and that she was untouchable in her gilded world. One ordinary day, as Amelia sped through the bustling streets in her luxurious car, fate decided to intervene. An old woman, Mrs. Thompson, suddenly stepped onto the road, and Amelia barely managed to hit the brakes in time. The street filled with people, their eyes glaring at the rich woman who had almost caused a tragedy. They surrounded her car, their voices rising in anger. But before the situation could escalate further, a young man stepped forward, a man who seemed out of place in Amelia's world. He was Leo Carter, a boy with simple clothes but a strong, unwavering spirit. He stood up for Mrs. Thompson, his words cutting through the crowd's anger as he confronted Amelia without fear. Amelia's pride was bruised, her anger simmering as she drove away from the scene, vowing that this young man would regret challenging her. Her mind was still clouded with rage as she arrived at her office, where she demanded water from her secretary, Sarah Collins, who was leaving her job that day. But when the new secretary walked in, Amelia was stunned. It was him, Leo Carter, the very boy who had dared to stand against her. The tension was palpable, and Amelia, with a sneer, decided that Leo would pay for his insolence. With a smug smile, Amelia began assigning Leo impossible tasks, fully expecting him to fail and walk away in defeat. She watched, waiting for him to crumble under the pressure. But to her surprise, Leo managed to handle every challenge she threw at him. Day after day, he worked tirelessly, completing each task with determination and skill. Amelia couldn't understand it. How could he endure so much without breaking? Why didn't he just quit? Driven by curiosity and frustration, Amelia finally confronted Leo, demanding to know why he wouldn't give up. With a calmness that disarmed her, Leo invited her to his home. It was a modest, humble place, worlds apart from the luxury Amelia was accustomed to. There, in a small, dimly lit room, she saw the reason for Leo's perseverance. His mother, frail and unwell, lay in bed. Leo explained that he couldn't afford to lose his job because his mother depended on him for care. In that moment, Amelia's icy exterior began to melt. She saw in Leo a strength and love that she had never known, and for the first time, she felt the stirrings of empathy and guilt. As days turned into weeks, Amelia found herself changing. She started to show kindness to those around her, a softness entering her heart that had never been there before. She began to see Leo not as a rival, but as a person worthy of respect, and eventually, as someone she cared for deeply. Amelia's feelings for Leo grew, and in time, those feelings blossomed into love. But this new chapter in Amelia's life was not without its challenges. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hawthorne, soon discovered her relationship with Leo. They were furious that their daughter would choose a man of such humble origins. They gave her an ultimatum: choose the family's wealth or be cut off from their fortune forever. Amelia's response was resolute. For the first time in her life, she stood up to her parents, choosing love over money. She told them she needed nothing from them, only Leo's love. Her parents, in their anger, disowned her, and she left the opulent mansion that had once been her prison. Free from the chains of her past, Amelia found true happiness in her new life with Leo. They married and began a simple yet fulfilling life together. Amelia had traded her riches for something far more valuable, the love and warmth she had always longed for. Together, they built a home filled with laughter and joy, proving that true wealth is found not in material possessions, but in the love that surrounds us. In the end, Amelia Hawthorne, once a queen of riches, discovered that love was the greatest treasure of all. She had given up everything she once thought mattered, only to find that she had gained everything she had ever truly needed. For more videos, don't forget to press the like and subscribe button.